Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is The Lady Designer, and we're here with the second speed build video of our Prehistoric Kingdom Alpha Kingdom Park. That's so much to say. But yeah, you guys voted for the next dinosaur, well, the first dinosaur actually, to be added in our Alpha Kingdom, and you guys voted for the Styracosaurus. But first off, we wanted to add the animal nursery, of course, to make sure that we are able to get the dinosaurs for our park. And for this habitat, I actually got inspired by the skin color that I chose for the Styracosaurus, which is the coastal skin color. And I actually wanted to do something with some kind of beach, a little bit with a boulevard feeling, where the guests can look into the habitat. And I noticed the habitat is actually pretty big, which is really because of the dinosaurs also just feeling bigger for some reason. Like if you compare it, for example, with Planet Zoo, you have like these really small little animals, and then you really feel more of like building like buildings and stuff for them. But I don't know, for a dinosaur, I feel like it has to be a little bit more natural, bigger in the habitat size. So yeah, that's what we went for. But it's also a lot easier in this game to create bigger habitats, so it kind of does make sense, to be honest. Now, I am a huge fan of a game called Ark, probably some of you may also know. And for whatever reason, I always feel like I'm creating some kind of Ark mini-map for these dinosaurs in this game. Like, obviously, this is the first habitat I'm building right now, but I did already record a few episodes for you guys. And that is just in general the feeling I'm getting, like making an Ark mini-map for some reason. I'm curious if anyone that also has the alpha feel the same way. Do let me know in the comment section down below. So they play around a little bit with the water brush. You obviously have like different depths of the water. So I really wanted to make sure we have like this smooth transition to a more deeper water section. And I think it kind of works. You can use the smoothing tool at least to make it a little bit more smoother. It's still a little bit like trying and testing out how this brush exactly works, but so far I'm really excited about this water brush in general. I do wonder if in the future you will ever be able to create underwater viewings, for example. I have the feeling that that is not really going to be the case, at least not with this water brush. Like, it doesn't really feel like volumetric or anything like that, so I really doubt that there is going to be a way of creating underwater viewing galleries, which is something that I really do enjoy doing in Planet Zoo. So thank God we still have Planet Zoo for that. So what is kind of a pain in this game is that you don't have an undo button. So I was working on this boulevard, and at some point I think I wanted to delete a tree or a rock or something, and I accidentally deleted this platform of the boulevard itself, and then I had to start all over again. That is like the most frustrating thing if you're working on something, putting time in it, and then all of a sudden just one button and then you just lose it, and that's just super frustrating. Thank God I was able at some point when it happened to just open the quick save, or the autosave I should say. So I didn't lose too much of it, but yeah, I do really hope that the undo button will be added very soon into the game. It's definitely something we're so much missing out on. That would be really great if we have it in the game again. Or in the game, not again, because I don't have it yet. Also, the align to surface option doesn't really work super well as well. Like, for example, if you put down a beam and you really think it's like aligned next to your wall or onto your wall, and as soon as you start copy pasting, you're like, oh my God, this is so not aligned to the wall itself. It's like in all kinds of angles. And just trying to do that with your own eyes, it's kind of hard. It's also very time consuming. So I do really hope, I'm expecting those kind of things will all be improved. Of course, this is an alpha, so I'm not really expecting too much of those kind of things. Like these things will be improved in the future, obviously. So it's gonna be fine, but you can really tell how annoying it sometimes can be when things are not really aligned and you just have to do it with your own eyes. It's really a struggle sometimes. Also, in the previous episode, I spoke about my CPU and GPU hitting a 82 degrees Celsius and 50 degrees Celsius at some point. Like, the game is really asking a lot of your computer. But this week, there was an update 0.2.1, where they reduced the game memory usage by 30 to 35%, and also added an FPS limit option, which should decrease the GPU consumption for some computers. So I am actually really curious. I have not opened the game yet since that update, but I'm really curious how my computer is doing right now. But it's really great to see that the devs are really onto it and already made some changes and made an update for everyone. So hopefully that will be fixing a lot of issues. I saw some people having crashes and stuff because of it as well. So hopefully that will be fixing the problem for a lot of people, and hopefully my computer will not be as warm anymore as it was previously. So yeah, I have to wait and see about that. Also, it is very interesting. I have not seen that one yet as well, but they also added a chain link fence piece. And for those that were in my Twitch live stream on Monday, I was playing Prehistoric Kingdom for the first time. You can find a link in the description down below if you want to find me on Twitch as well. But I was actually talking about the aviaries, and we were just decorating the inside of the aviaries a little bit. And I was talking about it like, oh yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna make a glass aviary. I don't know. For me, it doesn't make any sense. If I want to make an aviary, I want to do it with chain link fences. So yeah, I was like, no, as long as there are not chain link fences, I'm not gonna build an aviary. And then, all of a sudden, there's an update and there is a chain link fence piece being added. So I'm super curious about that, which is also, of course, rescalable. So that is going to be very useful if you want to make big or smaller aviaries or need just smaller pieces in general. So that is definitely really, really awesome. So I'm really excited to see more about that, to be honest. And if you want to read all the other things that are added in the game or changed in the game with the update, I will link the whole post in the description down below if you want to read everything. But these are the most important things at this point, I feel, for me. So that is why. And also reduce like the amount of guests and stuff, because it was really, really busy at some point if you're playing a well in your park. But those kind of things are obviously very useful as well. So back to the habitat. As you can tell, the whole habitat will be surrounded by rocks. There are no fences involved with this habitat. I do wonder how this is going to work in the future, to be honest. Like, how the terrain for the animals will be calculated and how the keepers will be able to fill the feeders for these dinosaurs. Because we don't really have any fence gates or something like that as of right now. But yeah, I think because I remember that there are jeeps going to be added, so I can imagine maybe something like Jurassic World Evolution where you have keepers driving around through your park and then filling those feeders for the dinosaurs. I can imagine they have to get into the habitat at some point, but as of right now, it's not needed during the alpha. So yeah, I'm just in general really curious how that will be tackled in the future. If you guys know more about that, I know there are some people that are really into a lot of details of the game and what kind of things will be added in the future. Do let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to read more about that, obviously. So I wanted to paint the habitat with coastal biome as well, but I totally forgot we don't have that biome available yet, as in terrain painting. So I went for a combination of the wetland and the scrubland biome. And I do have the feeling that some painting brushes are a little bit stronger than others. You can definitely tell that with the sandy brush being a little bit too overwhelming at some point with even the low intensity. But yeah, I'm guessing those kind of things will also be tweaked and stuff in the future. And yeah, it was sometimes a little bit of a struggle to get everything look more natural than I wanted it to be, even with the low intensity. So yeah, I hope those kind of things will definitely be improved as well in the future. So one half of the habitat will be more water and beachy, and the other side of the habitat will be with more sand and with some more rocks sticking out. So it's really cool to see the dinosaurs just either walking through the water or just walking through the sandy area between the rocks and stuff. I do really like the difference in the habitat and how it all looks. And again, the tree brush, the brush is really, really insane. Like, it really honestly feels like cheating sometimes. It's so easy to put down some trees and shrubs, and you just need to select the right trees you want and the density, and it's just really, really an amazing thing. I really do love the brush. I I think it's super useful, but it really feels like cheating sometimes. So on the boulevard itself, I added a lot of palm trees and I decorated it with a lot of benches and some bins. Unfortunately, the guests still don't use the benches and the bins, but that will obviously be something that will be added in the future, just like the guest itself will be updated as well, somewhere around the beta or somewhere around the early access. So yeah, that's definitely going to change, but I do really like to add these small little details into the habitat itself or into the area itself to make it a little bit come to life, even though it's not being used at this point. And of course, around the whole area, I did use the tree brush with more tropical trees to create a more dense area. Like at the end, I really want this whole park to be really dense around the habitat itself. So really create some kind of more natural park, because in all honesty, the more I play with Prehistoric Kingdom, because I already built a few more habitats, the more I am feeling that it's not really fitting to create super big buildings for these dinosaurs with like shelters and stuff. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the animals are too big for my taste to really create these huge buildings. Like just imagine a Brachiosaurus in the future and then having like a shelter, but it doesn't really make sense for me. So I feel like for these dinosaurs, you want to build more natural environments for them, natural habitats. And obviously there will be more smaller animals in the future, so then it would feel more like Planet Zoo, where you're going to create more buildings for these animals with shelters and stuff. But as of right now, I just don't really feel that, so we're going for a more natural approach. I maybe squeeze in a big dome because, well, I don't know, a dome must be added at some point as well in Prehistoric Kingdom, because you all know me for Planet Zoo with creating so many domes. So yeah, that is definitely something we just need to try and see how we can fit that in at some point, obviously. But I'm just really curious how you guys feel about that. Like, the Styracosaurus is actually quite a small animal, but still I don't really have the feeling to create like this big building or shelter for it. So yeah, maybe that's just me. I'm just curious how you guys feel about that, but I feel like maybe a more natural park is just more fitting in general. So yeah, do let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this Styracosaurus habitat. Leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And if you want to see more Prehistoric Kingdom content on the channel, I definitely have you covered. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all those other social media pages. I will link those all down in the description below. And yeah, I just really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!